What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Week here. We're gonna be playing a bit of a different game today. This is a game called Void Bastards. It's a very fun game. I've played it quite a bit myself so far, but we're actually gonna start over. Race, yes, I'm sure. We're actually gonna hop this up to the hard difficulty. I've played it quite a bit on the normal difficulty, and I've gotten rather far. But I figure I'll give it a shot. Let some people see it.
Nobby in hell. Voidark didn't pass his bloody checkpoint.
Well, file a 61P to head office. Unfulfilled delivery of resources.
If it's in the Sargasso Nebula, clients have all been lost anyway, eh?
Yeah, I think so. Let's log off and get rat-arsed instead.
Alright.
Whoopsie daisy. It looks like you've run out of bullets. Ammunition requests can be filed at the Void Ark. Oh dear. Return to the Void Ark is currently prohibited. This prohibition will be lifted when you obtain the line printer, or in the event of your death. Did you know the line printer is likely located in the admin cubes? ETA for arrival of supply vessel, 3 days. Probability of survival for 3 days, 8%.
Okay. Now, the game reminds me a lot of...
OH&S regulations require you to avoid being incinerated by gunpoints.
Okay.
Having trouble locating items? Why not use your local mapping device? Well done. I'll be sure to note this requisition of a line printer in your parole hearing. Return to the Steve is now recommended.
Okay. To me, the game really reminds me of just a first-person role-playing game set in a comic book.
FYI, a vessel associated with dangerous occurrences is approaching. Might I suggest a rapid evacuation? Addendum. The vessel is docked and dangerous occurrences are now imminent.
Looks like we lost some survivors. Do a sweep and clear the ship.
There we go.
Excellent. Return to the Void Ark is now possible. Note to self. Issue more bullets to replacement client.
Okay. But overall, the game is really enjoyable for me. I love playing it. I've played it quite a bit so far.
Client expired. Discarding unregistered acquisitions. Retrieving loaned weapons.
Steve cleared for return to Void Ark.
PAL backpack busies itself with paperwork.
P-45 filed. Steve cleared for docking. OH&S violations have resulted in a premature end-of-life situation. Recruiting replacement client. Issuing WCG client care package. Congratulations. You have been selected to assist with an emergency staff turnover. Welcome to your induction seminar. Unauthorized persons have boarded this vessel and rendered it inoperative. Your action item: restart the FTL drive. Okay, I need to see your citizen card to authorize the restart. Oops, as a WCG penal client, your citizen card has been shredded. Don't worry, you'll find parts to construct another one from on nearby vessels. The parts you need are a line printer and an ID card. Once you have the parts, you can assemble them on the Steve's workbench.
But here we go. This is the basic crafting system of the game. Now, the way the game works is you're going to travel around collecting items to build the action item over on the side here. The citizen card for this quest. All of the rest of the stuff are your mini equipment. So you've got various different primary, secondary, and third gun. There's 3 slots for weapons of various kinds. And then there's just basic buffs that go in these other side categories. There's some resistance decreases over here, which are really helpful later. Because the further down you'll go, the harder it'll get, and the worse enemies you'll come across. The beginning areas are fairly simple and pretty straightforward on the enemies. They're all basically the same. The screws are by far the craziest enemies. They are powerful, they're ridiculous. Now, as you can see, it'll give us a list of parts in our inventory that we will have, a part of a list of materials, status effects telling us how much ammunition we have, just basic information. And then our bio, we're Chester Stevens. He's prisoner D23429865. And the red smoker is a debuff. It's something that is bad. They'll be green for good traits and red ones for bad ones. This one specifically sucks because you could be trying to sneak past an area and he'll suddenly cough, and there's been a time where he's coughed and alerted 3 different screws within a hallway and they all charged me down, leading to my untimely death. But that's kind of how it goes. So overall, the game is really cool. You keep all of your weapons and gear upon death, and the following penal client, as they're called, or citizen, as you want to call them, whatever you would like to call them, they get to keep anything except for what you collect. So every time you return to the Steve, progress is saved. And when you die, if I die while I'm in a ship, any items I picked up in the ship, I don't get to keep. But my basic equipment, I do. But like my bullets won't transfer and that kind of stuff. Later on, you can build parts using some of your equipment, which is really nice. Or not equipment, your materials.
Valued client, please follow the bouncing arrow to the line printer.
Yeah, it's that arrow on the right-hand side of the screen. Also on the right, it shows you the type of ship we're, choosing to go to, what can be found, and the enemy types that are on it. At the bottom, it tells us we're going to eat 1 food when we go, which will heal us, but we don't have to worry about that because we're not damaged at all. Not yet.
Did you notice that there's a buzz box on this vessel?
I did indeed.
Requisitioning it would not be substantively illegal.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and dock, and we'll go after this bus box. And here I get to pick my pistol, and that's what we're gonna go with. Now, all the weapons, or most of the weapons, have upgrade paths that you can take, some further than others.
Warning. The nebula has caused citizens to assume irregular forms. I'm sure no one would blame you for murdering them. This WCG worker is colloquially known as a screw. Given your capabilities, an attempt to murder him would almost certainly fail. Lost? Fuel and part locations
Yeah, they're
can
not
be
jokes.
downloaded at the helm.
Screws are ridiculously powerful. Those white lines on the bottom, that's noise that my character makes. Like, watch if I go past here. Come on, why haven't you noticed me? This screw can't escape this room. There it is. Yeah. As soon as they get a view of you, it's over. And the badass music kicks in. Yeah, I'll open my mouth.
Good job. The Steve needs fuel, though. Perhaps you could look for some.
There we are. Now, there is a health system and an oxygen system. The faster your oxygen goes out, the worse off you're going to be.
I suggest you return to the Steve now, before you're killed or asphyxiated.
Oh, and that's one of the really cool aspects of the game, too. You see how it says hover? If he's not aggroed, it's a good way of knowing that he's there if you can't see him. Every enemy has a different, word associated, or kind of. Like, there's some later called scribes that float. The scribes and any other enemies that hover when they attack, it'll say hover on them when they're in combat mode. Now, as it's listed here, the salvaged items are those right there. Those, 5 categories. And then we recycle the other items we picked up into materials to craft things later. And right there, the buzzbox gives us our bushwhacker. I love the names of the weapons,
You were
by the
wondering,
way.
what happens when I die? Don't worry. Other clients will make good use of any items you've constructed.
There we go.
Why is this nebula a desolate void filled with derelict vessels? Unauthorized persons have boarded these vessels and requisitioned parts from them in an unauthorized fashion.
Okay, now if I were to go up here to this one first, I've got the 2 options to go to. But where this one is still a little bit behind that one, if I go to the stop one first, I can't go back for this fuel. So our choice now comes, we can either go from here to get the fuel and then up and then over, or we can go down to the fuel and then on down again. Let's see. Personally, okay. The stapler is a really good shotgun for the game. The fast whacker or the zapper. Ooh, the zapper is very, very important. And the padded jacket is good for health. So either way, I'm going to end up at this. Either way, I'll end up at this Lux cruise ship, which is. Cruise ships are really, really vital for providing food and materials. Let's see, new trait. They both provide new trait. I think I definitely want the fuel, though. I'm not gonna be able to go down and get that fuel, though. Okay, I think our better option right now is to... Let's see. I can ignore the stapler. Yeah, I can get the stapler later. So we're gonna go to the fuel. And then we're gonna go on over here to the therapy. Okay. Now, the downside here, even though it shows that there's no enemies, there's nebula rifts, which are what spawn enemies. And places like this, even though it doesn't have any of the enemies at all, initially, the rifts will spawn a lot of them in. Which means it could get very dangerous very, very fast. There's also PupBot, which has a stolen part, which is also very, very nice. Because usually it's something you need. Not always, but usually. Especially this early in the game, having that extra material is always a definite, need. Okay. The first place you always want to go is the helm. Yep, there's a rift right there. Okay, let's see. See enemies on the map, to power outages. Enemies on the map. That's always a very good one to have. There we go. Oh, and I got the FTL nozzle, the thing that I skipped before. And there's our straight pad, which is also very nice. Now I'm done here. I'm gonna lock off this room so that this rift doesn't spawn, or, well, the enemies can spawn, but they're not going to affect us at all. They're gonna be trapped in that room, which is going to help out a lot. Oh, I stepped in some oil. That's super slippery. Okay, let's lock this door. Because there's another rift in here, which we don't want. Yeah, it's right there.
Enjoy the universe's highest standard of captive living with WC.
Okay, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and lock this one off, and I'll lock that one off. And we'll go through this door over here, and then lock this door behind us. That way, that's locked out. We get tourists. Okay. Oh, that's right. The authorizations cost numerics. That's fantastic. That's exactly what we need. Because that'll give us a lot of extra stuff. You get near them. Ow. Yeah, they explode. Okay, he's going to the right. Go ahead and go into ammo. Gather the stuff in ammo really quick. Okay, do that. And then we get to the, yeah, we can get the hab to the hab the other way. So we'll lock that off. Lock this off. Lock that off. Lock the tourists inside.
Machine here.
There's a lot of them there. There we go. Oh, that door can't lock. Gotta go fast, because they're gonna respawn here really quickly. Lock it. Okay, now the good thing is we got stuck with just tourists, which isn't a bad thing. They cannot open doors. They're just kind of stuck. Okay, this is a generator room. Anytime there is a ship with no power. No. Snap, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Anytime there's a ship with no power, you have to go to the generator first to activate it. Okay. As you see, not very accurate, unfortunately. And we're done. Now, we did take a lot more damage than I would have liked. The tourist explosions have rather high radiuses. They're a lot bigger than I ever realized. There we go. So we get the stapler because we wouldn't got the FTL nozzle, which was a really lucky find.
This is exciting. Your KPIs are really trending up.
Then we get the padded jacket, which adds us more health. And then,
WCG rewards proactive work. I'm making a note for your parole hearing.
Yep. Okay, the next we got another restraint pad, which is really good for a Nutra tray, combining with it to give us even more health on the next upgrade. And we get more ammo starting out when we get care packages, which is really good as well. Okay. So that wasn't a bad start. So next up, just gotta deal with some janitors. Which I think I'm gonna rest here a little bit and heal some more health. There we go. 409 out of 550 should be good. I'll stick with the pistol and go with the bushwhacker again as well. And yeah, this is very true. Deciding when to leave or when to keep searching is very, very critical. Because there are some points where, like, there are some ships where I go to strictly... Oh, okay, see, this one has no power. I gotta run all the way over to the generator now. There are some moments when it's smarter to simply dip in, grab an item or two that you know you need, where you have a generalized idea of where to find them, and then just to bail. Because there's no point in staying if you know there's really hard enemies.
What's that?
Now, even though I haven't... Normally you go to the helm to reveal things on the map. You don't have to, because your mini-map will show where items are. Your mini-map shows where items are when you're in that area, but your big map won't. So to get your Big Mac to... Big Mac, yes. Get your Big Mac to show it, though. To get your big map to show where the items are at, you have to go up to the helm. Now, I've played enough, I have a pretty good generalized idea of where everything is. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna actually... Oh, I can't seal this off. Crap. Leave that open for my quick escape. Okay. Now I can authorize it over here to show me where all the enemies' locations are on the big map. I'm not going to worry about doing that. That's typically a waste of resources. But now, as we see, the last five items, if I can count. I can't count, apparently. The last 5 items are simply in these areas. Now I do want to know that those are simply items that are in lockers.
What's that?
The items laying around on the ground we won't see on the map. See, like this one. There are perks, traits that you can get that will show those. The one that I really want is called Eagle Eye. It's so helpful. And it's a very quick way of gaining all the resources
WCG
in
imposes
an area.
penalties for self-asphyxiation. You can requisition supplementary oxygen in Atmo modules.
Yes, I know, but I still have, what, nearly 3 minutes? I think I'm not going to run out anytime soon. And that should be everything. Yep, that's everything. We can now leave. Here we are. And we're done. Normally luck ships are really good sources of food and materials. Yeah, see, look at all the materials I got there. Now the downside though is I can normally get a lot more than that if I can see where they're all at on the map with Eagle Eye perk. Eagle Eye is so helpful. So what I'll probably end up doing is you'll see me going to a lot of genetic ships to try and, yes, Zapper. You're gonna see me going to a lot of genetic ships to try and get those items specifically, try and get that perk specifically. Okay. Ooh, another pup bot. Okay. This is for the senior stapler and the spiker. The spiker is by far one of the best things in the game. It is a poison attack or poison weapon that will poison the enemies that you shoot. And what's better is it's the key way of being stealthy. If they don't see you, you can shoot them. Yeah, if they don't see you, you can shoot them and start damaging them without actually losing anything. Now, we are really low on ammo for our regulator and our bushwhacker. So, the goal here, for this one specifically, all we have are screws. We want to use the zapper to stun him to easily avoid dealing with any combat with him at all. And the only thing that can disable security. Oh, there's a screw right there. There we go. The only thing that can disable security, or not security, disable a door is a security bot. Okay, so we're hit the helm first. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop the mirror so I can see where all the screws are at. There we go. Okay, looks like there's 2 screws and 1 turret. Ooh, and the pup bot is in the mark, right below the sanitation area. I'm gonna have both screws to deal with right here, which is not fun. Okay, come on in. Out of my way. Let's lock you in there. There we go. He's locked in. Okay, I can't really lock him in. Zapper does not last long at all. Come back here, pup bot. Crap, where'd pup bot go? Puppot's still in the theater. Okay, let's lure him in here. I've gotten everything in the mart. I can stun him here as long as I can get to Puppot before it runs away.
Lock it down.
No, stay there. There we go. Okay, now he's trapped too. So now I have both screws blocked off, and I have basically free run of the ship. Neither screw can do it. Oh yes, control color. That'll save us some time later. There's another ship we don't have to go to now. Okay, the last items are in Atmo and in the FTL. We still have 2 minutes and 50 seconds of oxygen, so we're making really good time. There we go. This will be an FTL nozzle. Okay. That's something I've learned over the course playing the game. In the beginning ships, most of these spaces with like locked containers have basically the same items in them every time. So now, pretty much in that area, every time is always going to have an FTL nozzle. Okay, now I'm going to run over here because these theater ships, these health ships, usually have this healing item, healing option, which you can authorize it, which is the little thing at the bottom corner, which allows you to gain more health for that ship only. To me, that's a waste of merits, which is the resource here. Oh, nice, we get so much good stuff. So many resources. So many salvaged items. Parts. So many parts, that's what they're called. So, boom, there we go. Okay. Staple hunter, so now that is going to allow us to scavenge more stapler ammo. Spiker, which is really, really good. And the kitty bot, which basically just distracts enemies. It's really good at its upgraded level because it can actually take out enemies. Up until it gets upgraded and you get the kitty hunter, it's really not that great just yet. Okay, see, this is where we would have gotten the control color. But now we no longer need it, so I'm actually probably gonna skip it. We need the line printer. So we have 13 days worth of food and 7 jumps worth of fuel. We only have 6 birds. Okay, I think we're gonna go up here, and then we'll go down. Alright, some tourists and some tourists and a few screws. No negative effects here. That's really good to have. Okay, so we're gonna go with the stapler. We're gonna go with the spiker and the zapper. Because with the zapper we can disable the screws, and with the spiker we can hit the tourist once and kill them. The stapler's there just if I really need to kill the screw, I can. It takes basically all of your ammo though. As it says, they're very tough and usually best avoided. There's just some merits. Okay. Oh, perfect example. And it ticks. Boom. There we go. There you go. There's an example of the spiker being used. Let's go to the right. That's where the helmet is. Oil. We got a rift up here. Let's go ahead and lock that off. I'd lock that. There we go. Now nothing is going to escape the main door there. I mean, nothing's going to escape the helm. Which is very, very good. Okay, there's a turret in here. Oh, so many mirrors. Oh, okay, here is the screw. If I can get him here into the security room, I can stun him long enough to lock him in here, and it's not going to hurt us at all. Stunned. Open. Stunned again. Close. No, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now he's trapped. There's nothing he can do there. He's no longer dangerous to us. Oh, even more merits. Okay. Ah, yes. Okay, there's no enemies in here. So, there it is.
Of all the clients under my care, I care for you the most.
Where did you come from? Oh, okay. They don't show up on the main map. They only show up on the mini map. There we go. Oh no, that's the helm. Don't want to go there. Goodbye.
Oxygen at 50%.
Paper cuts are common while filling out forms. Please take care while filling out forms. Failure to do so may result in further forms.
Looks like there's a lot down here. Go. Okay, all that's left is the sanitation. Here, I'll show you what this does. This triples my damage. It's not gonna make it go any faster. Triple damage is triple damage. I missed. There we go. Oh, there's a rift in there, that's why. Okay. It also makes me go faster, move faster, which is also very handy. But it's everything. We're done.
Is not in use.
It's only like 30 seconds of a speed increase, but it still makes a
I know you are
difference.
looking forward to receiving a special commendation. Please keep looking forward while you search for an ID card.
Go. Okay, so now that we found that, it clears that off the map and gives us another item to search for. This time it's the ID card.
You clearly need help finding the parts required to build these useful items. You need a part locator. Please
agree.
check the parts locker for a glow bulb to build one with.
Okay,
Are
parts
you
locker.
looking for a glow bulb? Because the Steve is all out of those. Okay, let's employ some out-of-the-box thinking. A glow bulb could be constructed from plas and biomaterials.
Specifically 5 of each, which I now have enough of.
I'm surprised that you're hanging around here looking at that glow bulb, when you could be at the workbench building a part locator.
Now we'll go back to the workbench. And there it is. Part locator.
Impressive. Now activate locate mode to find the parts needed for an item you desire.
Okay. Now the item I want to find is the magnifying
Smart
glass.
thinking. The Steve will now display a green arrow guiding you to the required parts.
Okay. Because with Bullet Scavenger, the amount of bullets for the regulator, like the regulator is your best base gun to have. So the magnifying glass and allowing yourself to get more bullets and find more bullets for it is very important. It's going to help out a lot. So back to the star map. With that, it's been a pretty good while. I think we're going to pause here. I think this will be it for this episode, guys. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, toss a like on there. Maybe, you know, share it with a friend or so. But otherwise, if not, if you don't want to, that's fine. I'm not going to press you into anything. It's all a fair choice. But with that, you all have a great day, and I'll catch you all